The guy was like, I got my car washed, I put on my Sunday's best, you know, like I'm sure y'all go get y'all a haircut and all these other things.
What'd you say about his Sunday best?
It was not looking good, sir. I'm sorry. I personally don't, just because you got on designer does not mean you could dress.
I know.
And he had that big old logo slapped across his forehead.
All of the boys, they wanna come to my yard. Touch up on my body cause they know I'm hot. All of the boys, they wanna come to my yard. Kiss up on my body cause they know I'm hot.
What's up, y'all?
Hi, guys.
Welcome back.
Take two.
Well, literally.
All right. Well, this is the second time we're going to try this again. How you doing today?
I'm swell. You know, I'm tired. It's been a long time, y'all. I feel like everyone at this point is losing track of time and the days are just zooming past. Like one day is gone in an hour and it's like, well, what can we do?
But you know what? We here. Can't complain about that, right? We here. We blessed. We got, I don't know, oxygen and blood and all that good stuff flowing through us.
We're alive.
We here. Exactly. There you go. That's the word. But yes, mamas, let's get into this topic.
So today we're talking about love for this month. You know, everyone's starting to go back outside. Everyone's been cooped up. We've been vaccinated. Some of us have, some of us haven't. But everyone just wants to go outside and enjoy themselves. It's getting warm out. It's getting beautiful out. So, you know, the love bug is hitting some people. But be careful who you want to share the love bug with. So I was watching this video. It's posted on It's On Site, which is an Instagram handle. And it's called a Click. I'm going to show y'all the video. So if y'all look this up, I know it's not clear, but if y'all go to It's On Site, it's called Is Chivalry Dead? Do Men Still Open Doors, Bring Flowers, Ring Bells, and Meet Parents? So it's a group of 6 individuals, 3 girls, 3 guys, and I believe they're all from New York, from the way they talk. So it sounds like they're all from New York, but basically the guys are saying chivalry is dead. You don't have to meet the parents. You don't have to call anyone. You could just send a HERE text, and then we supposed to just outside, which is not the case. I feel like that is specific to our generation changing their minds, because I know for our parents and grandparents' generation, that was not happening. And the same is for me. Call me old school. I don't feel like we were brought up like that. Like, I feel like we were brought up to have respect for each other, because if the shoe was on the other foot, I want to go upstairs and meet your family so they can see me, so they know who you're going out with.
I think it's definitely a division, and not just between the genders, but just like, I guess, how you were raised and like who you are as a person. Because you can't hit me with no HERE text. That's not it. Bro. That's the honest to God. Like, I feel like that's very disrespectful. And it's different if it's like we're rushing, you know, we're a little bit more, we further down the line or whatever, you know, like you didn't see my place, I didn't see your place, we know each other well enough, and it's like here, and I'll be like, all right, I'm coming. But if it's a first date and you don't think that you have to come to the door to like greet me,
you got a rude awakening.
Yeah, like just stay in the car and go home. Like, I think that's rude. I think that, as the guy pointed out in the video, it's just a certain level of respect that you have to have for the person that you're taking out on a date. Because, correct me if I'm wrong, you asked me out. At least in this case, because you know me, I could see you and walk right by you, but you asked me out, so it's like you put it out there. You could do the work. Exactly. Like,
oh, should I tell a story, sis?
Is
it story time? Is it story time? Oh, but I feel like this person watches our podcast.
Switch the names up.
And we still friends. I ain't gonna say no names. I was just going to keep it real cordial.
Okay.
But it bothers me. And, you know, I ran it past a few people. Like, when it first happened, I'm like, am I crazy? So I went out with, first of all, let me set the foundation. I'm not the type of person who, once you're in the friend zone, you're usually staying in the friend zone. I'm not the type of person who like sees a friend and is like, ooh, I want to date them now. No. Like, usually when I first get to know someone, I already know like their intentions. I can kind of tell their vibe, so I know like whether I want to, you know, show a different side or whether we're just going to keep it cordial. Mm-hmm. So this person has liked me for a long time. I'm talking like since I was an undergrad. And, you know, I hold that to a standard because...
You're trying to make us sound old?
What do you do?
since I was an undergrad, a long time. I'm
Bro,
sorry.
what
Go
is
ahead.
It's been, what is this, 2020? I was about to say 2022, Jesus. It's only been 3 years since undergrad.
Yeah, so don't be like a long time. Like, all right.
Anyway, undergrad is over with. Anyway, so he's liked me since undergrad, which is valid. Like, and we've remained friends throughout that. So I was like, you know what? I really want to respect this person because they remain consistent. They've, made it clear of their feelings. So I'm holding it to a higher standard. One, because I know you on more of a personal level. And two, again, you've remained consistent. So I want to, come in with an open mind and say, okay, like maybe this can work. So we made plans about a month in advance to do something. And I am a Taurus, y'all. So for all those who are into astrology and all that stuff, we can be a bit stubborn and overbearing. So it's very hard for me, one, to get out of that mindset of wanting to go out. So already I'm like a little uncomfortable. So I'm like, I'm just going to make the best of it because, again, you never know. So we plan, we're saying we're going to go this, we're going to go out to eat. You do things. The day comes. I'm excited. I've done X people. Can I use this? Can I use that? We're doing more of a fun activity. So I'm not necessarily in heels and stuff like that. I'm just in a simple, cute outfit. Bought myself some new sneakers. I'm trying to still look sporty cute. So it gets closer to the time that we're supposed to leave. And I'm like, all right, he's probably going to just be punctual, be here at the time that we specified. It's 20 minutes before this person is supposed to be here, and they're like, I'm thinking they're gonna say, oh, like I'm 20 minutes away, or I'm running about 5 minutes behind. This person is still in the state that they live in and is more than 30 minutes away. Where we were going was a little over an hour away, so we had to leave pretty early, because we had to get there early as well to check in and everything. So I'm like a little annoyed. I'm like, all right. So I tried to call the place. They say we can't reschedule. So I'm like, all right, I'm pissed because we've planned this out. You could have, really put in the effort, whatever. Y'all, guess how long it took this person to get to my house? Because I timed it. I said, oh, if they leave at this time, they can be here on time. We might get there a little early, blah, 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 whatever.
Not the stopwatch.
1 hour and 36 minutes later, I don't know the seconds. I knew the seconds the day of. I don't know the seconds no more. But I was just so baffled because they tried to brush it off. I'm pissed. And I'm making it clear that I'm pissed because I hold myself to a certain standard. I don't like everybody. Not to say, no, I'm not to say like, I'm better, because I'm not. But I'm just very picky about who I give my energy and who I give my time to, because I've been through my own fair share of things. So, that has allowed me to sit there and say, okay, like I need to be conscious of what I'm doing. So, I done got dressed, the car, is smelling right. This person had something to do that morning. So I was like, oh, maybe they're not going to have time to eat or something like that. So I done packed food and stuff like that for them to eat snacks so I can just drive because I know where we're going. Like, I'm very thoughtful and considerate. And I feel like my time was not considered. Like, or you could have, spoken what you had to do in advance, and we could have rearranged and made plans around it. So I was pissed, and then the day just didn't go as I imagined it, because my mom was like, oh, still give it a chance. Thank God I did, because I would not want to have gone through that experience later on. Let's get it all out later in the day. Because, and again, if you're watching this, I humbly apologize. But, I just did not enjoy myself. So, for them to sit there and say, you don't gotta come to the door, bare minimum, you don't wanna... What if I live in a roach-infested apartment and you could have seen that from the beginning and now you got roaches all in your car?
Okay, well, that's one way of thinking about it.
I mean, that's to the extreme, but it's just those little things like that, because just as much as you're going in the house to get to know that person and, who they live with or whatever, it's a chance for you to see the environment that they're in, like, from a brief, outlook or whatever. You might see their parents and be like, oh, bro, I know them. Like, we do not get along. Or, little things like that. Like, those are those small opportunities. And again, to just be a gentleman. Like, and for the girls in the video, if y'all watch it, we'll link it, to sit there and co-sign and start saying that, it's like, no. Like, no, you want to be treated with the same amount of respect that they expect y'all to come. Y'all want us to come in heels and, you know, have the whole outfit, the 2.9 and stuff like that, and you don't want to come to the door to walk me to your car, like, F out of here.
He kept saying respect, and then like he was like, with this generation or whatever he said, basically like the less respect you show them, the more likely they are to like you. Who are you dating? Because it ain't this one. Like, no way. I literally feel like respect is the bare minimum. It's expected for me, because I'm always willing to give somebody respect, even if I don't know you. This is something that I really be looking at myself crazy for, but I could despise you. I mean, like, literally, like, rue the day that you were born, and I will still show you respect and be cordial and not come at you crazy. And some days it'd be working in my favor. Some days I'd be like, bro, you should have just, like, what are you doing? But for me, he was like, you know, the less you respect them, the easier it is for you to get the box. No. Not over here. Not where Shania dwells. No, like, that's so wild to me. And you know, I can't sit here and say he's wrong, because I've seen a lot of girls put up with some wild stuff. And then when you call him on it, not like in a disrespectful way, but like, why do you let him talk to you like that? Or why is it that he's doing X, Y, and Z?
It's none of your business.
That's me and my relationship. You need to mind your business. But like, for me, I just feel like it's really wild that people will allow themselves to be disrespected and find it attractive. I don't know. Maybe I missed that course.
No, but I definitely, I can't not agree with him, because like you said, girls, and not even just some girls, because some guys too, I'll be like, whoa, like, you need to leave her. Like, she is using you, and I don't know if you don't realize it. And in the same way, on the other foot, the same way around, like, it's a no for me.
And it ain't changing.
It's a no for me. Like, I don't know how to put it. Like, again, I definitely have been through my own fair share of things. Like, honestly, I've been through verbally abusive, physically abusive, like, relationships. So I understand when you tolerate that certain level of disrespect because you're in it, and to you in that moment, it may not seem like disrespect. But it takes time for that person, like, to come out of that situation or whatever they're in, to really sit there and look back and be like, bro, like, what the, like, when you get to a certain, and I tell my god sisters this all the time, I'm like, when you get to a certain point with guys, and you just start realizing your worth and all that you invested into yourself and everything that you're doing, you're not going to tolerate certain things anymore. So, you know, when you see men and women acting like that, I'm like, oh, you need to wake up. Like, you need to start realizing who you are. Whether you have 20 degrees, whether you out here, you just bought your own car, whether you got your own job, you have something of value for yourself that you can represent and that you bring to the table. Now, if you ain't bringing nothing to the table, then you need to start figuring out what you need to do. And you don't necessarily need to be in a relationship unless that person is building you up and helping you along the way, blah, 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 whatever. But, again, it's a no for me, because it's just like,
no way.
How do you sit here and hear guys saying that and still want to be with him? Let me walk up on my boyfriend. He sit here and say, oh, yeah, I can do whatever to her. Oh, yeah, okay. All right. I ain't gonna be here tomorrow. I ain't gonna be here for the next 2 seconds. Like, what are you talking about? Like, again, it's a no for me. It's a no for me.
Nah, I don't understand that. And for me, people will probably tell you, like, I don't believe that chivalry is dead. I don't, like, at all. But I also have this thing when it comes to, like, being, I guess, independent, like, self-sufficient. I am the first person that will, like, reach for the door or, like, go to do something for myself. People, when I was in undergrad so long ago.
It was so long. I just said undergrad.
When I was in undergrad, I would, like, be in the zone. When I tell you getting from my dorm to, like, class or, like, going to the caf or whatever, like, it was a little bit of a walk. And if you know me, you know I don't like walking. So I'm trying to get to where I'm going, and you got these people who, like, alright, so for one instance, this guy, I'm ahead of him, and I'm going into the building, and I go to hold the door behind me, because he was, like, literally maybe, like, 3 feet behind me. So I was like, whatever, you know, class right there. So I'm holding the door open for him, and he's like, oh, no, after you. And I'm like, I'm already in the building. Can you just come inside? And he's like, no, like, after you. And I'm like, you got one more time to say after you, my guy. Like, get in the building. Like, and he was like, you know, I told my girl, whenever I'm around, she don't gotta hold no doors. I'm not your
girl.
girl. I'm almost late to class. I'm trying to be nice to you. Like, I don't know. For me, it's like, I don't believe that chivalry is dead, but I also don't believe in wasting time. So if I'm at the door first, I'm gonna hold the door for you. If I can reach it and you can't, which, why can't you reach it? Whatever. Anyway, I'm gonna grab it. Like, I'm not about to sit here and make a big ordeal out of like, oh, your girl opened her own door. Yes, because I was right there, so I'm opening the door. Like, I'm not gonna be mad at you for that. I don't expect you to wait on me hand and foot, but I also would expect you to, like, I guess, not try, but like, it shouldn't be so far-fetched if I do expect it.
My expectations when I find a boyfriend, when I get married, are completely different from what was expressed in that video. Like, if you can't even come up to my door to sit there and greet me, if you feel like you gotta send a here text,
this isn't Uber.
This is wait for me. Like,
what?
I'm really big on family. I'm really big on respect because I give respect and my family means a lot to me. So I hope that my husband is, or my boyfriend is, very family oriented as well. So you not coming up to the door automatically is a red flag for me, because it's like, we're not going to work out because you don't even want to come up and greet me, regardless if I live with my parents or not. It's just a level of respect for me, the person that you're about to go out with. And like he said, I done put all this work, so you can put in the extra 2 steps to walk those less than a mile. It's not like you walking a country mile. You're walking maybe 20 steps at most.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so it doesn't make sense. Like, he's like, oh, it don't make sense for me to do that. It doesn't make sense that you don't want to do that. Do you feel like it's a cultural thing based on the country that you're from? Do you feel like it's a generational thing, or do you feel like it's a gender thing, or do you just feel like it's just an issue in general?
I definitely feel like it's a generational thing. I don't, again, like I said the first time, I really don't know that many people from that many cultures. Like, the few people that I have interacted with, it's always been on like a friendship level or like a see you in passing kind of thing. But most of the people that I interacted with as far as dating, for the most part, they have respect, and like, there is no weird like, I'm gonna just hit you with the here text, because like, we see each other, we know what we're about to do before we get to doing it. Like, this is where we at. But I definitely like watching my younger siblings, and even with my older sister, the stories that we sit and like go over, and we just be sitting there like, who raised y'all? Like, it's really kind of crazy. So I would definitely say it's a generational thing, but I think it started with a specific generation and then kind of just trickled its way down. Because these kids today, these teenagers today, the stuff that I be seeing, I just, like, why are y'all like this? That y'all are the here text generation. That's who y'all are. Whereas it's like, some of us who are in our generation are still kind of hanging on to, and even with the older generation, it's a given. Like, you come inside. And she pointed out in the video, you know, like you said, sometimes you'll have family over, or you may still live at home. My family, more often than not, is not trying to get to know you. They don't want to be bothered with each other. They're not really trying to sit and be like, well, bring them in, baby, because we got to. No. You might get that from my mom, because my mom is like a mom. So she'll definitely want to know, like, oh, so where are you from? You know, like, how old are you? You know,
are you 35? Are you 25?
Exactly. Like, what's going on? Like, she'll ask you the basics, but she ain't about to sit there, blood type, social, credit score. Like, no, that's not her place, in my opinion. That's me. That's what I should be doing. But it's like Tati said, they gonna see you. Then when you leave, they're gonna talk about you. Then when I get back, they're gonna talk about you some more. And then they're going to want to know what's happened. And then they're going to talk about you some more. But it's never going to be on the show, like, McGruff the crime dog. Like, they don't really got to know everything about you.
I think with them, it's a mixture. It's the environment that they're in. It's their generation. It's do y'all have male figures or female figures in your lives? For women, do you have female figures in your lives who are telling you that you deserve a level of respect? Men, do you have men in your lives telling you how to treat a woman, you know, not to tolerate any BS on both ends, but still knowing how to treat each other? Because the same way we hold women to an expectation, we hold men to an expectation. Like I said, you want me to cook and clean and have all this grease popping on me, but you don't want to sit here and come to the door and greet me and say hello to my mother and my parents. Like, they brought me into the world. You should be telling them thank you. Like, what are you talking about? So, yeah, we were talking about one episode ago. I don't remember who it was. It was a rapper. But she was saying that her aunt or her grandmother had told her, like, if he beats you and stuff like that, you know, that's him showing his affection, his love.
Yeah,
so if you're in that type of environment where a man's disrespect is seen as love to you, then you're going to think it's okay. I feel like for us, it's different again because we weren't brought up like that. But if that's all you've known all your life, I can't necessarily sit there and fault you because this is what you've been taught. Like, I'm pretty sure there's men out there who've been taught, like, oh, yeah, you disrespect her. Like he said, if you disrespect her, you do all the stuff, she's going to want you more. Do that. I'm pretty sure there's guys being taught that. So you can't necessarily fault them. I mean, it's your choice to sit there whether you want to listen to that after a certain time and, you know, whether you start realizing, like, I don't want to do this anymore. But you can't necessarily always fault someone because like you said, the way someone's brought up is very different from how we could be brought up and how so-and-so and so-and-so and so-and-so. And the way people be mixing nowadays and the way the energies just be colliding, it's just like, boom.
No, 100%. I'm never going to fault you if you were in a situation to where, sorry, it's a piece of dust, like your parents constantly cursing each other out. And that's what is displayed to you as love and affection, a healthy relationship. I'm never going to fault you if you grew up in a home where they are verbally, mentally abusive. You're not going to take it out on me, but I'm not going to be angry with you if that's what you are used to seeing. I will do my best to show you that that's not going to fly, but if you can't get with it, then we have to part ways. I'm not going to hold you, like, I'm not going to hold it against you because clearly that's how you were raised. Who am I? You can't raise no man. Your mother or your father or both your parents have done that number on you, and you have to learn to unpack that. You know, I could be there to help, but I am not about to sit here and I got my own stuff. We gotta therapy each other, you know, like, all right, my session was yesterday, your session's today, and there has to be progress being made. It can't be like, well, I graduated the program, but you still at step one.
I'm screaming.
And just going back on that, I think even if I didn't have the people in my life showing me, because I've had good examples and I've had bad examples.
That's true.
Even if I didn't, I think for me, going back to my faith in Christianity, the Bible says, do unto others as you would have them do unto you. That's the golden rule. They preach that in church and outside of church. So I'm going to treat you how I want to be treated.
I think on both ends of the spectrum, people feel very entitled now. People feel very entitled. For men specifically, they feel entitled to be, you know, treated with some level of respect. And I said this on my Instagram. Y'all want to be treated like kings, but y'all don't want to treat us like queens. Like, you know, you want to be treated like a king, but you don't want to come up to the door to greet your queen. You know, the king is still supposed to come and greet the queen. The queen's come into the room, he stands up and acknowledges her. So y'all want to be treated a certain way, but y'all don't want to reciprocate that. And the same thing for women. Women feel entitled, like, oh, I'm here. You should do it. Like, I get it. I'm here. Like, what you coming with?
Listen.
And I get it. Like, especially if you're coming with something. But the first date specifically is our first impressions of each other. I don't want you thinking that I'm some crazy woman and I'm demanding all this stuff from you because I did this, that, and the third. I want to know you for you, and I want you to feel comfortable to open up and tell me about your traumas that, you know, play a role in why you act the way that you do, and, you know, the situations that you're going through, because not every diamond or not every gem is really a diamond. You hear that all the time. You have people out there who are diamonds in the rough, really going through something right now, and they deserve a level of respect. They deserve a lot of things, but they're not getting that in return because they're easily overlooked because they don't have all the materialistic things that we value now, which is sad. But, you know, I want to get to know you.
I think that's what first dates are for. It's not sign on the dotted line, we're connected for life. This is where I get to know who you are as a person. That right there would be the red flag and the only flag that I need. But for some people, again, everybody's different. The two girls in the video was like, that's fine by me. Give me that text. I'll text you when I'm coming out. I think with a first date, you should be as open as you feel comfortable being, and you should act as you normally would. Because don't put on no facade for me and then, a few weeks into this, I find out you ain't really who you really thought.
Right.
I thought you was. Like, whoa. Because that's wasting my time. And if it's one thing I don't like to waste, it's my time and my money. At this point, you're taking a gamble either way. Just make sure you're having fun when you're taking that gamble, because if you could get a good meal and a good laugh out of it, y'all don't gotta see each other again, but y'all had a good time while y'all was out, right? Right? As long as you had a good time. If you didn't have a good time, but the food was good, you got a good meal. If you didn't have a good time and the food was bad, you got a good story to tell.
Right.
I don't know. For me personally, it's all about having fun. And I know for a lot of us, we are dating to get married, but you do still want to have fun. And you can't be like on the first date, so did you want an intimate setting or did you want a grand venue? Because I know a few places, if we book by 2023, like, no, like, you don't want to scare this poor person into thinking you're a crazy person. But I really want people to be comfortable, show who they are, so we can know who you are, so we can know where to move from there. It's like playing chess, you know? Put your first move out there and I know how to cross, jump, retract, retreat, whatever. All that.
And on that note, are you shotting or are you sipping for this episode?
I feel like I could definitely sip for this, because it's like, I know me, I know myself, and I know I ain't gonna put up with no tomfoolery. You don't come to the door, you don't get to see me. And that's that.
Yeah, I think I agree. I'm definitely sipping. I think it's a part of just being comfortable and knowing who you are. Same way, you cannot fault them because they were 100% comfortable in who you are. Either you're going to tolerate it or you're not going to tolerate it. So I commend them, because it wasn't I'm about to sugarcoat it. No, this is who I am. And the same for me. I know who I am, and like you said, I'm not about to tolerate that. So I'm definitely sipping, because mama don't play that.
This is very easy, guys. We need more stuff like this.
Girl.
But let us know in the comments how you feel, what you think. More than likely we'll do like a little poll or something. I don't know.
Oh yeah.
Don't hold me to it. But be careful out here, y'all. That's all I'm gonna say.
We'll see you for more romance in the next episode.
Bye.
Bye.